for joining us. I am Iyori Folani. Okay, the American presidential election, we're in the season. How does one put it? Well, all the pundits are saying it's too close to call, too close to call. That's after you would have been hearing that Kamala Harris was leading in, some area. Then later on, Donald Trump was leading in some area. But by and large, too close to call seems to be the safe gate. That's where everybody is staying, even though everybody might have their impressions as to how exactly this thing is going to go. But just as we do in Nigeria here, you can't say anything beyond the official declaration or anything less than the official declaration. Now, no such declaration has been made. But to explain that, Dr. Okwebanwo is a lawyer, political affairs analyst, and usually when we talk things U.S., we do knock on his door. Good morning to you, Dr. Okwebanwo.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for having me today.
Our pleasure. I imagine that you voted. You yourself have voted.
Oh, yes, I voted.
You
I
voted.
always vote, even though
I
tell you what.
Okay. But
I voted. Yeah.
Well, naturally, I suppose in the interest of accuracy and obeying the law, nobody is about to say anything that hasn't been declared officially. Now, what we're hearing is that it's too close to call. So it's correct to say that as of this second, there has been no official declaration regarding the U.S. presidential election.
There's no official declaration. We don't even have INEC in America like that. People don't want INEC to declare. The official declaration probably won't even be till December or January. But the television stations like yours are the one that call elections in America, which is a whole different scenario. So, right, both the two major or three major outlets, they've not really called it, even though they are already discussing the inevitability, because Trump is already at 266. He only needs 270. Kamala is still way down there at 200 or something. So the pathway for Kamala to win is just not there. And in the battleground states that everybody knew was going to decide the election, they've already called 4 out of the 6 for Trump, and is leading the other 2. So it's almost inevitable, but of course, the news anchors, they're trying to be careful, and also they want you to continue to be glued. People like us could not sleep because we are waiting for everything. They know that once they declare, their viewership will go down. Okay, and that's just the truth. But from all of the sides, I think it's generally agreed Trump is going to win this thing. They are already talking about the damage control and all that stuff. But you're right. The TV stations that typically declare, they've not yet declared. But it's just buying time and buying viewers. We're all here watching them. And
yes. So what would you, well, as far as it concerns us in Nigeria, I suppose we're always going to come back to that. What would be the implications of one or the other winning the election? America, we have good relations with America, but then America under Trump or America under Harris, what would be your sort of sketches as to? Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, well, to be honest, if people are less emotional about this stuff, both the Biden presidency and the American Trump presidency, they have not helped Nigeria. They really have not really helped Africa. They don't care. They say it. A lot of them say it, but they're lying. They should ask ourselves, did Biden ever visit Nigeria? Did Kamala ever visit Nigeria? Same thing with Trump. The only difference is that Trump is not lying about it. Trump is about America and anything that favors America. The Democrats will lie to you. They will tell you this, they will tell you that, but they never get it done. So in terms of how it will affect Africa, I don't think we should expect much because Trump, for instance, the man that is projected to win, has always run on the policy of America first. So if he's not going to favor America, Trump is not going to do it. He's not going to go out of his way to come and do anything major for us in Africa. Anybody who's under that delusion, his first 4 years told us that. And the last 4 years also told us that even the Democrats don't really care about us. Having said that, also a lot of people, we expect that Trump has campaigned on the ground that he's going to start the biggest deportation deportation exercise in America when he runs, and you better believe him. See, this is not Africa. When you campaign on a policy, your supporters are going to hold you by the legs, and I think Trump will have to do it. But I think net, it probably might be better for immigration than the Democrats. And I know that most of us who are listening, who have been listening to CNN, you don't understand the dynamics. I've been an immigration lawyer for 27 years. So this is my domain. Okay? Yes, Trump, like I always say, and those who are watching can fact check me right away. Obama deported more Africans, more immigrants than Trump. So it's a lie when Democrats keep saying Trump doesn't like immigrants, but they do. None of them do. Okay? And then number two, most of the amnesties where immigrants have been given permanent residency or green cards in America have always happened under the Republican administration. Again, fact check me. Democrats talk a lot of good game about helping immigrants. They don't help us. They don't like us either. But Trump, as a pragmatic person, he wants to build a wall. And I think a lot of people hated him for that. But me, even as an immigration guy, why would I hate a country who wants to build a wall around this country? Nobody allows immigrants to just come in. But Trump this time, because he wants to build that Mexican wall, will have to negotiate. It's democracy. It doesn't, all these people are not the only ones there. So he will have to give the Democrats something to be able to get the permission and the money to build this wall. So I see amnesty coming. I know people think this is crazy. He won't do it the first year. He's going to do deportations.
Yeah.
But my point is, I believe strongly that he's going to give some amnesty to illegal aliens who are here as part of the negotiation to be able to get this wall built. But on the general, to be honest with you, I don't expect anything much from a U.S. government. For Nigeria, we have to solve our own problem. Africans have to start figuring out how to solve their own problem. Trump is not going to go out of his way to help us.
Wow.
Biden and Harris have not gone out of their way. So let's not confuse the two. Both of them, they really are not for us.
Indeed.
They're going to put pressure on us if Kamala had won. Because you ask about the outlook for either.
Yes.
If Kamala had won, I don't think they will have helped Africa much, but they will have propagated their LGBTQ agenda more. As you can see, they've even been trying to get legislations into different legislators for their agenda, which Nigeria obviously doesn't want. So I see more of that. I don't see more of coming to develop us. Chinese are the ones doing that for us. They're not going to do. And Trump, also, of course, Trump is not going to be in favor of all this LGBTQ stuff. So at least we win in that area. So to me, that is my general outlook. I'm not emotional about this stuff. Both of them, they don't portend anything good for us. They're going to be telling us to stop using our fossil fuel, which is really all we have. They're going to be telling us to be trying to look for climate change if it was under Kamala, because they believe strongly in this climate stuff. So they're trying to put pressure on countries like ours to cut down on our fossil fuels. Meanwhile, that's what we got. Trump is not going to do that. Trump is for digging oil wherever you can find to force the price of oil down everywhere. So to that extent, I think we might also be better served by a Trump presidency when it comes to issues that matter more to America and to the Western world. Trump is more in alignment where we stand on things like climate change, for instance, which many think is not a big deal, but it's one of the biggest deals in a place like America. And Trump is not buying into it, at least not at the level where they don't put pressure on us to be doing too much on climate change, I think.
Okay. Well, just by the way, voting has closed.
Yes.
Yes, voting has closed. And there was this scenario, maybe you might talk very, very briefly about that, where Americans are actually able to vote before the election day. Selected Americans, of course, there's always this whole matter about Americans in diaspora, if that is what they call it, being able to vote as well. Just comment briefly on that whole area.
Well, is something that we cannot learn from. Of course, I would never be so presumptuous to try to say Nigeria should be like America now. We have a long way to go. They've got 200 and something years of democracy. We are just starting. But it was such an amazing thing. More than half of the people, more than 50%, voted before the election day. They call it mail-in ballot. They send your ballot to your house, and then you just tick and you go and you're done. On election day itself, or except for very few areas, there are no long queues. I went to vote, it took me less than 3 minutes. And yet there was a lot to vote for because they had 4 pages of voting sheets because there's a lot of local issues, a lot of initiatives that you have to vote for here and there. More than 50 stuff to vote for apart from the presidency, the Senate, and co. The whole thing took me less than 5 minutes because there was no rancor, there is no rice outside, there is no talk. There's not. So it was such a seamless, yes, it was such a seamless thing that we cannot learn
no rice, nothing like that.
Yes. No, and then wherever you are, you can vote, mail-in ballots from outside the country by their military and all that. So there are things, they are tough to implement. I'm not going to lie to you, for a country like Nigeria, we have a lot of logistic issues. If they want to do mail-in ballot, how would they mail in to Mushin, to Ajangbadi that has no address, that has no specific address? So those things are harder to implement in a place like Africa. I'm not going to be unrealistic and say we should then do mail-in ballot. Even the voting on the same day, we have not been able to do it right.
Yes.
We are still dealing with ballot snatching. We are still dealing with failure of beavers. So we are not even anywhere close to doing mail-in ballots.
It's a work in progress, to put it delicately. But good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
And good morning to Dr. Van. Uncle Yori, I'm personally disappointed by what Americans have done. This is why fraudsters like Yahoo boys used to succeed in duping them. How do you Uncle Yori, you cannot separate character from leadership. How do you have no character and you can provide good leadership? It doesn't happen. You are a convicted felon and you want to lead in the most powerful country in the world. In our country that I'm proud of, when you are convicted, you cannot hold a public office for at least 10 years. That's my country. That's the country Donald Trump is calling asshole country. That's the country he says we eat cats and rats. That's the country he says we have tails. He's very vulgar. He has no manners. Uncle Yori, if I have my way, during the tenure of Trump, I will not visit America out of principle. How do you, for example, tell me that a man who is accused of being a pedophile, who is accused of criminal, by a court of law in their own country, that person will be my president? I will not be proud to have such a president. I heard some Nigerians saying, oh, Trump sold arms to Nigeria when we needed it, that Obama did not do it. The helicopters they sold to us, they gave it to us with conditions that we cannot use it to fight insecurity per se that is worrying us. What is the essence of having helicopters that can stay in Lagos and shoot a target in Ibadan and get it? And you are telling us bandits and kidnappers are terrorizing us. You say we cannot use it. You should give it to us. You didn't give it to us free of charge. We bought it with our money. And then you say we cannot use it. So what is the essence? You just want to score a political point.
Yeah, Mr. George.
You sold it to us. The other man did not sell it to us.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Let me go to Okwe. Donald Trump is a man who evokes very strong feelings, one way or the other. Very few people are apathetic about the man. You just heard that commentary there. Your take on it?
Yes. Let me. I have 3 or 4 things to say to that gentleman. Okay, and I don't want to be triggered on this show because I know where I am. That gentleman I just called him epitomizes the ignorance of many Nigerians, the presumptuous attitude of many Nigerians about American politics. A country where we are struggling to organize a successful local government elections without rancor. You want to then tell other countries who should be their president. because you listen to CNN, because you don't even know the facts. The ignorance is palpable. Are you saying more than 50% of Americans who have voted for Trump, they are idiots, they don't know what they want? Which Nigerians would think, for instance. So you say you are disappointed in America. Who are you to be disappointed in America? It's not your country. Focus on Nigeria right now. You say your country, Nigeria, that you are proud of. With all due respect, I'm a Nigerian myself. I'm very proud to be a Nigerian, but I'm not proud of my country right now unless I'm lying to you. I cannot say that. On what basis? It's your pride base. You can't feed yourself. You cannot power yourself. You cannot do basic things of life. You cannot buy a car 5 years after graduating. You are not sure if you are going to have life tomorrow money. So what exactly are you proud of that you are not going to say you are going to point at America where everything works? The problem is that you talk about convicted felon. Do you want us to go into the Nigerian situation, the people you have in your National Assembly or the people you have in Aso Rock? We are not going to go there. My point to you is that it's politics. A lot of the stuff they are trying to convict or they try to convict Trump on is our politics. For instance, about overvaluing his property. Who values their property correctly when they're trying to borrow money? He borrowed money, he paid the money back. And yes, it's wrong for you to overvalue your property. Now, when it's not politics, they're not saying because he overvalued his property, they took him to court, they convicted him of that, and you are here saying he has no character. In any case, America doesn't run their own policies by character. It's not a personality-driven government. It's what I tell people. It don't matter how poor you are as a president. We have policies, what do they call institutions that work. So when you are moving mad, the institutions will stop you. So when Trump tries to move mad, you're going to see it happen. It happened in his first 4 years. So you need to focus. We focus on issues here. What are the issues? What is this person going to do for me? What is going to do for the economy? Not about the persons. It's not a beauty contest. But in Africa, we judge based on personalities because that's all we know. We don't judge on policies because we can't tell the difference between APC and PDP and Labour Party. So we are forced to focus on the personalities. Americans don't work like that.
All right.
Your agenda that you run on.
Dr. Banwo, I hear you. And without prejudice to your personal opinions that you have presented, after all, that's why we call on you. We do want to hear them. But very many Nigerians, I would like to say, including yourself, are proud of the fact that they are Nigerian and would not sell America out, would not sell Nigeria out, will not sell Nigeria short. But as I said, well, they kind of show that it is. We do take everybody's opinions. But there are a lot. When you made the statement, what is there to be proud about in Nigeria? Plenty. There are those who would line up and say, plenty. Let's talk. Let's talk. There's plenty to be proud of. We might not be proud about every last thing Nigeria is doing, but you have to agree that there is plenty to being called a Nigerian.
Oh, definitely. Now you don't misunderstand me, sir. I didn't say I'm not proud to be a Nigerian. I'm saying I'm not proud of the government and the officials, not necessarily only the presidency. I'm talking about the kind of existence we are experiencing right now. Why shouldn't somebody who graduated 5 years ago be able to buy a car? Yeah. Why shouldn't somebody who graduated 10 years ago be able to afford a house?
Indeed.
So we have a systemic issue that is not limited to this current government. And if you are saying it's like somebody having a child who is very brilliant, who's supposed to be a genius, but he keeps going to the bar, getting drunk, coming home, sulling himself, and you are saying you are proud of that child. Then you are not a serious parent.
Okay.
You can't be proud of him in that state.
But Dr. Banwo,
as a parent.
I hear you, sir. But just to sort of remind our viewers that who might have joined us now that we're really talking about America and the American election, and it has been going in a certain kind of way. A lot of people are concluding that former President Donald Trump might indeed be the winner of this election. Voting has stopped, but it has not been called. That is not official. But then again, Dr. Banwo explained at the top of the program that, the way it goes there, not having an INEC or anything like that, they don't really call them like that, and that it might take till December before what Nigerians will be looking out for, which is an official declaration with all the form EC, whatever, So it doesn't work like that.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that in America. But where we are now is that a lot of people are thinking that Trump is closer in this election, closer to the White House than Vice President Harris. But again, to emphasize, it hasn't been called, as we like to say locally. Now, Dr. Banwo, you dwelt for a bit on the whole question about Trump being "Make America Great Again," a very, very proud American, and he has been disrespectful of other nationals, even Americans, even naturalized Americans who are not born there and are not white or black original Americans, if you get my meaning, because a lot of Nigerians are also saying that I'm a bona fide Nigerian. We're not going into the American. We're not going into the law. That's not what we're talking about. But there are those who have even gone as far as calling President Trump a racist in the way he speaks. He seems dissatisfied with some foreigners who have come to America, have even gained access by democratic means into the legislative houses, and want to be proud Americans. And he said things like, go back to where you're coming from. He said, I'm an American. So, is that so? So how do we deal with that kind of a person?
Yari, again, you are a very respected journalist. You shouldn't be saying things that are not true. Trump did not.
I saw this one on television. I saw this one on television where he put down a lady. He put down a lady based on her country of origin, even though she was now an American. And that one was wondering, why are you talking to me like that? I'm an American too.
Sir, like again, you are in your studio, get your people to flash that video and let's see it. Trump doesn't disrespect naturalized Americans or Americans who come into the country legally. Everything he's always saying is against illegal immigration. He said he wants to build a wall. He will put a very nice door in it. So you come legally. What is wrong with that? I'm a naturalized immigrant. You think I'm stupid? I'll be here defending a man who disrespects me? No, it doesn't disrespect naturalized Americans or legally in America Americans. All he talked about is illegal aliens, and of course, is very violent against people from violent Muslim countries, which I have issues with him on that one. That you can't condemn every Muslim from every Muslim nation, but that's him. But as for disrespecting immigrants, no. In case you don't know, Trump Towers, about 70% of them were built with EB-5 money, which is immigrant money. This is my domain. Trump wants Americans with money. He wants foreigners who have money, who have intelligence, people like Nigerians. He wants people who have something to contribute to America, and is against those who are coming in illegally across the border, mostly the Mexican axis, and those who really don't have much to contribute. You can't fault a man for that. We told Ghanaians to pack away one day when we are struggling economically. Every sane country puts its own people first. Yeah, we may not like it because we are foreigners, but every country that is same. Britain is doing the same. They did Brexit when they got tired. They don't want to be part of Europe anymore because there are too many immigrants coming to their country. Every country, Germany is doing the same. Every country in the world is protecting their own. And yet, we want to blame Trump for wanting to America first. I don't believe, I believe that he hates immigrants. I can never be out there saying, okay, let's give this man a chance. I don't believe it. CNN and other outlets like that, they try to amplify the worst of him they see or heard.
All right.
But I've just challenged you now, where respected immigrants, if you show me this, I'll send you a camera right now. It doesn't do that. I just challenge you publicly, sir.
All right. Okay? Even though we're talking about the likely the implications of a U.S. election, or the U.S. election, the outcome of it for Africa, let me take a break now. When we come back, we can also look beyond Africa to the world in a certain kind of way. And here I'm talking about this contentious the Israeli situation. And without America, of course, Israel wouldn't be carrying on the way it is carrying on. Not just America, also, Britain and some other countries. And now this is American policy. It doesn't matter who is heading it up. When we come back, we'll talk about that, and I'll get your perspectives on this whole matter, that without the enablement of America, what is going on now, it wouldn't be very possible. So stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Inflation will end. Your taxes will be cut massively.
We need a president who works for all the American people.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of South Globe.
Inflation will end. Your taxes will be cut massively.
We need a president who works for all the American people.
Okay, welcome back. We are in that season. The two contenders for the White House in America, Vice President Harris, wanting an America for all of the people, and former President Donald Trump wanting to make America great again. Our guest is our regular commentator, Dr. Okwe Bamwo, lawyer and political affairs analyst. So, Dr. Bamwo, let's talk about a subject matter that a lot of Africans look on with more than a passing interest. That's the situation going on in the Middle East, and how America is strengthening the hands, of Israel. Quite frankly, let it be said, it is American policy. So it doesn't really matter who is in charge, who is in the White House. I guess the world is sort of, the world has to contend with the fact that there are some countries that Israel is leaning on that cannot but come across. If America were not to come across with the support that they have traditionally been giving, then the world would be in a different place from a story point of view. Give me your thoughts on that. I'm aware of the fact that you are an American yourself, although you are also a Nigerian. So go on. Let me hear, what the way the Israelis are, going about their governance.
First, let me be clear. I'm a Nigerian who is an economic refugee in America. I don't even talk American politics on my social media.
I like that delicate way you put it. I like it. And a Nigerian who is an economic refugee in America. Doesn't that write the story of all immigrants around the world?
Yes, exactly. So that's why I resonate more with Nigeria than with America. But on this Israel thing, we have to understand geopolitics a little bit. I don't consider that my forte, but the truth is, America, like every country, they're always looking for allies. The people in the Middle East and all the Arab countries, they really don't like America. So when America gets an ally that is always supporting it and supporting its interests, then it makes sense that they will support that ally. There is nothing nefarious going on here. Nigeria will do the same. If the whole of Africa doesn't like us, and then we find one small country that is always pro-Nigeria, of course we are going to support it. Imagine if Israel is not there. Then America has no voice in the whole of the Middle East. Don't make sense. That's number one. Number two, historically and religious-wise, They've been tied together for too long. So America has no choice but to support America. Even the Democrats, in fact, the Democrats got more votes, more Jewish votes than Republicans. I bet many Nigerians don't even know that. So even if Kamala had been there, the support for Israel in the Middle East would have been stronger. Forget all the noise of Trump. At least Trump acts. The Democrats will say they will do it, they may not do it, but they also support Israel. But having said that, let nobody be confused that if America doesn't support Israel, Israel will not now allow the Arabs to overrun it. It's not possible. Israel will still do what they have to do. They don't care. That country does not care about anybody but its own country. And I don't blame them. They're a tiny part of the Middle East. Most of the states around them have sworn an oath that until they kill every one of them, they will not rest. The world saw that. The world saw their manifestos, their constitutions, specifically calling for the extermination of the Israelis. What do you want Israel to do? To stay there until they run them into the sea? No, they will defend themselves. It is good that America and Britain is supporting them, but I'm telling you now, the day they say they are not supporting them, Israel will not back down. Who will do that? Everybody is condemning Israel now, with all due respect. And I know Israel doesn't like Christians, contrary to what people think that, oh, we Christians were supporting Israel because...
People don't know.
They don't.
Especially Nigerians. Most people don't know.
They don't know
that Israel is not a Christian nation.
By the way, it's not. They don't even like Christians. If the Israelis were to choose between a Muslim and a Christian, they would choose a Muslim. And I'm not joking. There is more population of Muslims in Israel than there is Christians. The Orthodox Jews considered us to be apostates, to be people who don't believe in the true God, because they don't believe Messiah has come. So I'm not supporting them because they support Christianity. They do not. If I were to do it based on religion, I would support the Arabs, because Israel don't like us as Christians. But the point of the matter is that there is a small country surrounded by enemies all over. And every time we hear of them going mad, it is the Arabs that always attack them first. Everybody is forgetting what happened when the people in the Gaza Strip went into Israel and killed over 1,000 youths, some of them in their bars. You cannot slap me, then be telling me how I can respond. When you slap me 700. And I slap you back, I break your leg, I break your head, I break your arm. It is you should take it like that. So me, personally, despite the fact that Israel is not in support of my faith, this is not about faith, this is about fairness. If Ghana were to come into Nigeria and kill 1,000 people in Lagos, I don't think by the time Baba gets upset and sends people there to go and devastate them, that anybody is going to be telling us that we should only kill 1,000. No, we will kill 200,000. Because Ghana should not be coming to us. The Republic of Benin should not be coming to Nigeria. We will devastate them, and that's a fact.
Okay.
So, what do you mean?
I hear you, Doctor. I hear you, Dr. Kwebanwo.
Yes.
But again, the story of Israel, it's a delicate one. It goes all the way back to 1948, yes, as you know. So it can be suitable for a time for people to just take it from the 60s, the 70s, whatever. But it's a problem that goes way back. Now, thank you very much for that. We just, went across the border. At least if we look up to North Africa, we went across the border. So we were looking at it from the perspective of, other people in the world. But we have a situation now where it's likely that President Trump is going to be sworn in. We just say likely because it is newspapers, as you know, and polling organizations that are calling these based on rigorous research and on-the-spot coverage, live coverage that's going on. Very, very sophisticated, very, very expansive. But for all of that, they don't have what we call INEC there, where you must wait for the official voice. No. So Dr. Kwe was saying earlier that it might even be up to December before we get that official voice that we Nigerians know so well. But in the meantime, we'll be going by all the polls, right?
Yes. Actually, we have what they call electoral college here, which is really...
Yes. Very confusing to people not in America. That electoral college thing. Yes, you're right.
Yes. Yeah, so, and that one doesn't even sit until like December. That is where actually because every time you win a state, you really have not really won anything. All you have won is delegates to go, you collect all the electoral votes for that state. But on the day of the electoral college is when they finally cast those numbers for you. And once or twice in American history, it's actually happened that the person with the most electoral votes during the vote did not even get called president. I think there's 1 or 2 instances way back. So, yes, it's not likely to happen here. Whatever votes he gets, he's going to get. But my point is, you are correct. The American official electoral system will not finalize this until way into December. But nobody waits. The 3 major news outlets over time, it's more or less been accepted by Americans that they can declare, okay? And that's why they have been cautious, because once they declare, a lot of consequential things will start to happen. All of a sudden, Trump is getting congratulated, he's forming government, even though they've not had the electoral college. So they have to be careful before they say, this person has won. You know what is even funny? Some of the states that they've declared, only 1% of the votes have been cast. But they just project. It's like saying a TVC has reporters outside during the election. You're asking people questions after they voted. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Based on that is how they project. It's ridiculous, but it's working for us. Where right now, you see, I'm watching my TV right now. Some states, they've only counted 12% of the vote, and they've already declared the winner.
Exactly.
In some states, they have not even counted at all. As soon as the polls close, you will hear say, oh, CNN is ready to project New York for Harris. They've not even counted any. Why? Because they rely on exit polls, which is crazy. But that's what we have. We're going to get a president in another 6 hours maximum. They are going to declare one, and it's going to be all over. It's already almost all over. I can see.
It's already almost all over. World leaders have been congratulating Trump. See? So they know it's over, but again, because it's so sensitive, it's so seismic in effect for a president to run one term, lose re-election, then come back. It has only happened once in American history, in the 18th century or something. It has never happened in modern day time. So what Trump just did, by the way, should make a lot of people take a pause. Those of you keep saying Trump is this, Trump is that. Ask yourself, if what you are hearing is really true, why will over 50% of Americans still be voting for this guy with all his convictions? Are you saying 50% of Americans are stupid, or you don't know something that they know? This is my advice to in Nigeria and all over the world. You just take a pause. One moment, Dr. Banwo. I beg your pardon. Ambassador Yunusa has called in from Mina. Good morning, Ambassador.
Hello, I can't hear you.
Well, Ambassador, could you mute your television set, please? Mute your television set, because...
Hello, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now? Could you mute your television set, please? If you're listening off your TV set, it will be causing some disturbance. Ambassador Yunusa, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm using the phone.
Okay, please go ahead now. We can hear you.
Okay, I just want to contribute on the topic here by wishing Donald Trump successfully outing on his election.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I heard what you just said.
Ambassador Yunusa. Yes, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Ambassador.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
Hello, I can't hear you.
Okay, the lines are a bit crossed. But if you can hear me...
Hello?
Yes, hello. Ambassador, hello. You just said that you wanted to send your good well wishes to Donald Trump. I heard it up to there. You could take it from there. You wanted to send your congratulations to Donald Trump. Did I get that right? Okay. I'm sorry about that, Ambassador Yunusa in Minna. The lines were such that, things that have been said like almost 2 minutes ago are coming back right now. I think they call that latency and all of that. But Dr. Okwe Banwo is our guest. He's a lawyer and political affairs analyst, keeps his ear very, very much to the ground. both in Nigeria and in the U.S. Now we're calling on his American cap, and he's just been explaining the situation to us. Well,
yes.
So we're going
to. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's like, if indeed Trump is declared the winner, then it's going to be, America will be going into that whole thing about ultra patriotism.
By the way, it's official. Fox just called it. Okay, Fox just called it. They just called it. Okay, Trump is the next president of the United States. Let me see what CNN is doing. Fox News just called it. And now even Fox has called it.
Indeed.
It's official, Mr.
Indeed. I see here that Donald Trump declares magnificent victory.
There you go.
He declares magnificent victory to happy supporters. So I don't know which one is more preferable. Is it our own that we have to wait for INEC, or this one that multiple sources are calling it based on it happened in our very before?
It's difficult to rig on this one, because you will not come and tell us if they now say they are wrong, they have to now prove it. Though it will be funny, less than 50% of the votes have been counted. But yet, everybody, including those who support the other candidate, they are declaring Trump the winner. Imagine TVC doing that, where they've only counted 30 votes and they say another person won, other than our current president. Will you declare it? That's the problem. We are not there yet. Okay, and I don't blame you. Same way, in a place like Nigeria, we may have one network declaring one guy and then another network declaring another person, even though the facts are different. So we have a long way to go. Our system is different, and we have to make do with what we got. But I want to say something again for those who are still somehow shocked and wondering what is going on here. You have just said that Trump insults immigrants, hates immigrants. Guess what? Trump got historic votes from Hispanics. That should make you think again. These are the same Hispanics everybody is saying he hates. But the Hispanics understand. You want to come to America, come legally. When you are a permanent resident and you file for your mom, for instance, if you are a Hispanic person, it takes you 12 years before they can come to America. Yet some people cross across the border and they get in. Hispanics themselves are upset about that. That those of us who are trying to do it legally, we have to spend 12 years before we can bring our mother, but you just sneak across the border and then you are here. They themselves don't like their own people doing that. But Nigerians don't know that. They don't want to know that. Hispanics are voting for Donald Trump. And you are here saying he hates immigrants. No, he doesn't hate immigrants. He's saying come legally, come correct. And I don't think I can fault him for that, even though that policy affects my law practice. We are mostly an immigration law practice. When Trump was there, our income dropped almost 40% because he's not playing with anybody. But policy-wise, I think it makes sense. Nigerians will not want anybody just coming to our country anyhow. That's why we have semi-border. That's why we have all these borders, to make sure they come in legally. Okay, so that is doing. I just saw that now on CNN itself. Trump scoring historic votes from Hispanics. And yet somebody will be in Nigeria who doesn't know anything, will be saying that Trump hates immigrants. You don't know what you are talking about. Those of you in Nigeria saying that, you need to go do your fact-checking. It's not about immigrants. It's about illegal immigrants. Yes, I wish he would not tamper with them. Hey, I'm an immigrant myself. All of us have to hustle to get our papers. But don't blame the man for trying to protect his country. We also do the same. That's all I'm saying. And for those who are saying Trump is useless, he cannot run, you can't be corrupt and run a government, even though you have a lot of people in Nigeria who are corrupt and running your government. But you want to tell America that, oh, it's corrupt, he cannot. Majority of Americans think he can run their country. More than 50% of the votes. More than 50% so far. And you are here trying to tell Americans what is good for them. If they want to elect a criminal, that's their problem, not yours. Let everybody focus on their own country. Let's do better with our own. Make our elections better for people like us abroad to be able to vote. We talk a lot. We contribute money. We contribute energy. But we can't vote. Yes, mailing ballots may not work. But how about going to your embassy to go and vote? How about things that can work for us, our own stuff, so that those of us abroad, we can have a say? We don't even have that. But we don't want to go there. We are talking about Mr. Shola. Sorry, Mr. Yori.
Well,
my apologies.
I know, because you yourself, I know you as a Democrat, the fact that a person doesn't agree with you does not make him your enemy. I'm sure you know that.
Exactly.
It doesn't make him your enemy. You shall engage. And, well, you did come down hard on that contributor. But, hey, it's a free talk shop.
My apologies.
Yes,
okay. I apologize.
Okay. Because, you know. So, well.
I didn't know it was a contributor. I thought it was somebody on the studio with me. You know, I don't see you.
Yeah.
When I'm here like this,
okay. No, it was a phone in. It was a phone in commentator. You know, as we always do.
Apologies.
And so, okay, Mr. George, you heard it. You heard that explanation right there, because the man is always on. Part of democracy is free speech, and you must say it the way you see it.
Yes.
And that is indeed what Dr. Banwo has been saying all morning. And not everybody is going to agree with him either. But he doesn't let that bother him. The point is, we called him because of his own personal viewpoint. So, well, there's a sense that since they say world leaders congratulate Trump, I say, well, okay, I suppose we can let us add our own tentative congratulations as well. I mean, if world leaders with all their resources, if they are able to see it that far, it's okay. It does appear to be going in the direction that most people think it is. So I just want to thank you very much, Dr. Okwe-Banwo, for giving us some of the background to this situation where former President Donald Trump, the man is a man of history. The man has made it back against all odds. The point was being made that a man that has been convicted, how can a man who has been convicted come back again and win? I go ahead and risk irritating you a bit, Okwe, but would you like to talk to that one as a lawyer? As a lawyer.
Yes, I will. Yes, American law does not prevent him from running. Again, Nigerians cannot write American law for us. Okay? Our laws allow him to contest, because what you guys are calling convictions, many of them is not real convictions as such. And in any case, they are being appealed. When you are being convicted, quote and unquote, for allegedly overvaluing your property to borrow a loan that you have paid back, you guys have to start reading between the lines. Most of it is politics, and they're going to go away now. Okay, it's politics trying to demonize. But as for, again, I have to say this, sir, with all due respect. People deserve the kind of leader that they get. People have a right to vote for who they want. Some people have won elections from jail in this same America. Okay? In Nigeria, too, from what I heard, some people were arrested for the murder of Ebola Ige, and they did not win from where they are in jail. So let's not be hypocrites.
I hear you. Let's not be holier than thou. Let's not get all sanctimonious. I hear you, Dr. Okwe-Banwo, commentator, lawyer, political affairs analyst. I'm so sorry, Dr. Banwo. We've run completely out of time. But thank you, as always, for coming on the program. Appreciate you, really. So that's our program today, then. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.